Hey there, and welcome to the show. Today, I have the privilege of sharing with you today an Ollie Hooper, who is an entrepreneur, a stand-up comedian, and a great community member. So without further ado, let's meet him.
So my name is Mounir. I'm living in Europe. I'm an entrepreneur. I built a different startup. Now I'm building a startup in fintech to help people to be financially independent, and especially freelancers. And before I built multiple startups, which was all time the same goal, financially independent. And before that, I was like consultant and in investment banking. And originally I'm French, that's why I speak like a croissant.
It's so nice to have, though, because I feel like when I talk, I hate the sound of my voice, and I wish so much I sounded nicer, but I feel like like it's just American English isn't very fun.
I think it's okay. Just like me, I know that my accent is like very strong, and I don't make no effort. I know people love it, so like.
So I think you kind of play it up. You're like, oh, my accent, and then secretly you're like, but I know you love it. Yeah.
I will never change it.
Yeah. Which is fantastic. But you started in consultation, and then moved into doing some entrepreneur things. But for people that are also like freelance and stuff like that, different markets, what do you think is like that switch? What was like the catalyst where you're like, I'm going to get out of the game and play it myself?
Why I was in an amazing career with lots of money, and then I left everything to be lost and scared.
And how can we get that career?
How we get this career?
Yeah.
Wow, that's two big questions. But I think like how I moved from consultant and to like more like this entrepreneurship life is, I think what is difficult today is like when you work like for big companies, investment banking, consulting, etc., you start to lose kind of your purpose, and at some point when you work too long, like after 3 years, etc., that's what happened, at least for me, is like I start to think like why I'm doing here. You know, there's this little voice like, why I'm doing this, it doesn't interest me, I do everything same thing every day, etc. And when this voice starts to talk, there's another voice, maybe it's my ego, I don't know, but like it's much more like, okay, I feel I can bring more than just like do Excel file on a daily basis. And I feel I'm not excited about what I'm doing right now, and I will be more excited by more adventurous stuff, not like repetitive stuff like what I was doing in consulting. So that's how we make the switch. But I'm sure like there's plenty of people who love like consulting and investment banking, but the thing is like me, I feel I need like more adventure, and like when you're an entrepreneur, you are like you're really like kind of lost, and you need to build something and you don't know how to do it. And I think that's what excites me more. While when you are in consulting setup, basically you know what you should do, or it's very clear, or like it's kind of a road. So I think that's how I shift, like just looking for a bigger purpose.
And when you get into something like entrepreneurship and building something yourself, you never get it right the first, or very few people get it right the first time. How do you the first kind of startup, the first thing you wanted to build, if it didn't work out, did you feel discouraged, or were you like, oh, this is just, it's going to be this way? I
think I feel all the time discouraged. It's like, like even though you said like it doesn't work right time, it never worked like 99 times. So me, before that, my 3 startups stand up, I launched maybe 8 startups, and all of them failed. And I think it's difficult to be discouraged. I think you are discouraged each time you do it. Why I keep going? I think it's just because deeply I like it. I think I like this way, like I don't know, maybe I will find it. It's like playing a sport when you lose all the time, and at some point you want to win. And I think that's exciting for me.
And it's more about the puzzle than it is about winning every time.
I think it's just like about find a solution at some point, and like just, and it's like also like really like, oh, I'm sure it's like you feel like, oh, I cannot make it, so that excites you more, like to find it. And I think that's also the thing, like what makes me move is like when you are in consulting, basically you find every solution, but when you're in entrepreneurship, you don't find any solution. And so it's like a thing of life, huh? When you're in life, you don't have every solution. Doesn't make you alive. I think it's how you do for not be discouraged.
Okay.
Just to enjoy the fact that to try to find the solution.
Yeah, and being okay with the fact that it might not be complete. You might not see every project out to the very end, but at least you got it somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And on the way, there's fun on the way, because being lost is funny. It's not funny when you are in it, but when you come over, it's funny. And
then, how has the Stockholm startup culture? How have you felt about that?
So what I really like in Stockholm, it's a very, very positive mindset. Like every people I talk to are very positive into building something or curious or want to share something. Like it's rarely that we are rejected very badly. Like every people keep a nice vibe and nice mood when you're in interaction. So this, I really like it. And what I'm very, very surprised is the startup ecosystem is very developed here. Like sometimes I'm shocked, because Stockholm is 10 million people, but sometimes you feel it's as developed as a big country like France or something like this, where 80 million people.
Yeah.
So which is very, very, very impressive. Some people say it's the new Silicon Valley here.
Yeah, and I heard it's the second largest.
Crazy.
For creating new startups. Yeah.
But I understand, because the Swedes market is really a more optimist and positive market. I was talking with one of my investors just 2 hours ago. The thing is, what is nice here is people want to try new stuff. And they're not scared to discover new things. For example, it's crazy how the country is super digitized. Yeah. They use for fintech, for example, there's no money here. It's just
cards.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Or even Swish and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
We were talking about when the electricity will go out anywhere. It's we can't do any transaction. You can't buy things because you can't go to cash because no place takes cash.
Exactly.
But I think it really does power the ecosystem then within Sweden to be we're so reliant on digitalization of everything. Please help me. and then it becomes where everything else is based around building that. Yeah. So to have that even in place, it just means the opportunity for more digital product is available. Yeah. Which is crazy.
The second thing also is there's a lot of cash. Honestly, there's the Swedish country is so developed in terms of investors. Yeah, there's Creandum, which is huge. There's Mia was incubated by Antler. Yeah. So honestly, it's the mindset, the also the resources. People are good. Tech guys here are super good. Even the university are big. Yeah. Plus the investors a big, a good. Mix to create a big startup environment.
So what would you say to someone who maybe already is here and is well, I have this idea, I don't know, maybe it could be something.
So much people have ideas. Me, the thing is, first, people have ideas and are stressed, they don't execute their ideas. I will say just be relaxed, it will come when it will come. Yeah. And it's very weird, but it's just have faith in you. Just it will come, it will come. If it doesn't come, you was not made, are not made to do it. Yeah. But the second thing is I think what is nice is to do little steps. There's Bill Gates was amazing quotes, if I remember. It's people are too much excited about what they can do in 1 year, but undervalue what they can do in 10 years. Yeah. And I think that's what you need to do when you have an idea. It's just to do one step after one step. It takes time. It's long. Don't be scared. Just I don't know if your idea is to do something, just talk to someone. Maybe is useless, but don't someone who an entrepreneur or start something, but just do a one small step and after step. And there's also another sentence which is nice. I love is if you do 1% every day, you will do 365% of your project at the end of the year.
That's true.
So yeah.
And that's a good way of thinking about it, which is you don't have to go all in. I think everyone's well, then I have to quit my job. Yeah. And it's not yet. Yeah, exactly. You have plenty of time before you're going to be at that point. Yeah. And then obviously too, there's so many startups within Sweden. Yeah. You can be involved in one of those. You don't have to be the person who presents the idea. You can be that person that just latches onto it and becomes part of that journey.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And you will feel it. You will feel it when you need to quit your job or something like this. Me, I'm a little more crazy. I just quit my job straight because I have two faces in the world. Yeah. But I think, there's steps. There's steps. And just 1% is enough already. Which is, it will stop you to freak out when you have too much in your mind.
Yeah. And just take a step back.
Yeah. And go. It's just 1% is enough.
So this is not a call to quit your job immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
But think about it.
Think about it.
Consider where you are. Okay, so really quick, we're going to go into some questions I had for you. How would you define failure? Definitely going over having projects come and go. What would be your definition? How do you fail?
How do you fail? I'm gonna sound cheesy, but failure is learning. I sound so cheesy right now, but it's true. The thing is, like, when you fail at the moment, it's not learning. When you fail, it's pain. Like, at the moment when you fail, it's pain. But when you have still your goal in mind, when you let time, when you look back, you see that this failure was just like a kind of lesson.
So it's like when you internalize and say, I failed, instead of like, oh, I can learn from this. Yeah. It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's not easy. Honestly, it's not easy, because when you fail, the problem is, like, if you get the lesson straight, it will be easy. Like, you fail, it's pain, you get the lesson, it's like, okay, perfect, I learned something. What's the problem is, like, when you fail and you don't understand why you fail, and you are sure that you should not fail, it makes no sense in your brain. And the thing is, like, I think what's more difficult is not to fail, is to accept the failure.
Yeah.
Just to accept it, which is not easy. Yeah. Which is really not easy.
Because you have to wrap your head around the fact you did something wrong.
Yeah.
Or you made a mistake.
Or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
For some reason, doesn't work, doesn't right timing, doesn't work.
Yeah.
But you just need to accept it. It's not easy. And just even like breathe in, breathe out.
Yeah. I think this is
not easy.
It's the Swedish yaha moment, which is you're like, oh, yaha, like that makes perfect sense. But putting it into practice is so much harder.
Yeah, it's difficult. when you know that 80% of your problem will be solved just by breathe in, breathe out. You're like, oh yeah, but I want
to overdo it. Yeah.
It's too easy. Breathe in, breathe out is too easy.
Okay, next question. So, I feel like this one relates to having gone through so many, kind of like different steps, different things that you've tried to create.
Yeah.
Are you fulfilled? And do you feel like you want to be fulfilled, or that's your drive, is you want to keep finding new things?
Mm-hmm. Good question. Me, I think if I create so much, it's like at some point I'm not so fulfilled. Otherwise, I will stay longer. Am I fulfilled? It's a big question, honestly, because also, like, as an entrepreneur, you build something, so you run after something.
Yeah, and then if you get that, you settled. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah. That's why the thing that I try to do now is like to build, like to have goals like I cannot reach. Yeah. Like goals I cannot reach. Like me, when I think about my company Cappi, like we are like, okay, we want to change the world, like all the planet, like every people on earth. So we know that it's so difficult that at least we cannot fulfill it, because also that's the problem is like when you don't set up two big goals, when you reach it, you are like, you don't know what to do. And I think, for example, when my first goal was like just to build a startup. Yeah. And think is like, honestly, even if you don't know how to do it, at some point after 2 years you build a startup and you have like 100 clients. So the thing is, I didn't answer to your question, but like, I don't know if I'm fulfilled, but I think I'm pretty okay with it.
Wherever you are, you're doing fine.
Yeah. As long I'm happy. Yeah, I think I'm fine.
Okay.
I think I'm fine.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll do one more. What are you scared of others knowing about you?
What I'm scared about...
others knowing about you.
Yeah, yes, I know what I'm scared about. Is like, because people, like me, for example, I know that I'm not perfect. Mm-hmm. And I think I really don't like the fact that people know my flaws.
And so just them knowing that
they know.
Alone. Yeah.
They see that Mounir is like not perfect. He has like flaws. And I try to be fine with it. But it's not easy. It's not easy. It's really not easy, because when people see bad things about you, you are all the time scared that they will not love you anymore, or they will not follow you, or they will not trust you. Yeah. And you have this picture about, if I'm perfect, people will trust me, which is not true at the end, because at the end people trust humans, and the humans has good point and bad point. But I think that's what scared me the most, and I work a lot on it. Like I told you that I do stand-up comedy. Yeah. And so on stand-up is like an art, and like every art you need to express yourself truly and fully with your good and bad point, and with all the perspective of yourself. And that's not easy. Yeah. That's really not easy.
Because you have to really put yourself out there.
You have to put yourself.
Not only are you on
and not
stage.
The marketing face that you are perfect, and it's not easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay. And that's crazy you do stand-up. I absolutely love that. I have done 2 stand-up shows in my entire life. And I went and do it again. I'm scared shitless of it.
It's awful.
but it was one of those amazing experiences where it's like, I have a mic and you can't take it away from me. And I can say whatever I want. I mean, obviously it's supposed to be funny, but it's just knowing that you have this power over an audience. Exciting. It's so much fun.
It's exciting.
So if anybody wants to find you, either doing stand-up or learn more about your startup, what should they do?
LinkedIn, Mounir Felloula.
Yeah, we'll put something where they can connect.
Yeah. And plus Cappi on LinkedIn and Twitter.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. And for stand-up?
And for stand-up, I'm writing my new show now. Oh. So I hope maybe I will be at Big Ben Comedy Club, but I don't know yet. Okay. Now I'm still writing because my last text is 3 years old, so I want something more fresh and more like you
got that old material. Yeah.
More scary, more like something when I can put myself even more with all my flaws, etc.
And then we'll see when they do your Netflix special.
Exactly. after building the world, doing special, but I don't know, it's not the focus right now.
Yeah. It's just a part-time gig.
Yeah. Just it's more a game.
Well, thank you so much. It's been so much fun, and I hope this has showed some people a little bit more about the entrepreneurial market, how to get into it, what to expect, and how to succeed. Exactly. I think that's been so much fun. So thank you so much, and then we'll be back next time.
Thank you very much. See you later.
Bye. I hope you've enjoyed our episode, and be sure to follow us for more content and updates. You can find us on Instagram at ollyhoop_co-living and connect with us over LinkedIn as well. And make sure to look at the description of this episode, and you can find more about Mounir and how to connect with him there. And until next time, this is the Ollie Hoop Podcast, signing off.